What's up? Here I have a friend of the channel back again, Dre Cannon. It's absolutely delightful to see this guy post another video yet again and say silly things that he's going to be saying in this upcoming video that I'm going to show you. This is absolutely hilarious. Now the reason why I say it's hilarious because I know everybody is going to feel the same way by the end of the video. Their blood is going to be boiling. And look, I agree with you, I see what you're saying. But I think guys like this are to be used, and they're useful in a situation like this, because all these guys do is they wake people up. They do a great job of it, because here's where I stand when it comes to things like this. If he is saying the things that he is saying, and he has a platform, he is appealing to other people on that platform. What I mean by that is, this is a foreigner that's in our country, that's going to appeal to other foreigners and set, what would I say, ideas maybe in their heads, notions, feelings of victimhood. Now where else have we seen that across the world? Oh, that's right, you see it in America and you see it now right across Europe. Victim mentality. Look at Kamaru Usman on the weekend there after his defeat from Dricus du Plessis. Victim. And this is a perpetual cycle, that you have third worlders coming into countries and playing the victim and then gaining social media platforms and crying about the countries that have accepted them in. It's ludicrous stuff. And countries have accepted this and people have accepted it until now. Now people have said, nah, not anymore, buddy. So we live in a very interesting time, because you've got a guy like this that is spouting out the types of things that he is spouting out, and yet you've got the likes of Graham Carey, one of our own people, that's been told not to go to protest anymore. Has this fella been lifted? Has he been lifted by the Gardaí? Has he been questioned? Is there any sort of charges against him? These things are all unknown. What I also find to be quite interesting, and you've seen it at the thumbnail of this video, is he is pictured with Minister Darragh O'Brien. Why is this specific guy pictured with Minister Darragh O'Brien? Now, we have seen over the last couple of weeks that in America, Kamala Harris there, who's also on the left-hand side, has hired TikTokers to make negative videos about Donald Trump. So if that's going on there, you best believe it's going on here. Because we have government officials, and when I say officials, we have these idiots that are running around as, I would say, spokespeople for foreign entities that are actually running this country right now. And you've got them saying and doing ridiculous things out in the open. Do you think it's beyond them to go behind closed doors and do shady things? I don't. So we've got a post here from Jen Ration, and I just want to say thanks very much to her for posting this up. She says, Andre is a brazen liar and clearly getting paid to gaslight the Irish people. Very interesting comment there. He should be in jail, not seeking asylum, as he's a proven liar working with the regime against Irish people. Another very interesting comment. So let's check out the video now itself and we'll have a chat about it.
So the dirty racist Dubliners strikes again in Coolock. They're displacing migrants today, setting things on fire as usual because they're savages and they don't have respect for the country. So they burn things when they don't get their own way. So I'm telling all migrants, go and take their houses, bro. Go and take their fucking houses, take their cars, take everything they own. Who do they think they are displacing people in this world? This is not your world. The world is not Ireland. Alright? The world is not all about Irish. It's not your world. Migrants go and take their houses and take their cars and take their women and take their jobs. The cheek of them displacing people and putting people on the street, acting like you care about homeless people. You little racist bastards. That's all you are. Nothing more than little dopey racist cunts on the side of the street. You are nothing in society. You will never be anything in society. That's why you are mad that a migrant can come here within 4 months. You can have way more than you because you're a loser and you have nothing to your name. You're a little dopey fucking dole merchant that sits on the dole every day and waits for a free house on the council list for 20 fucking years because you're useless and you never leave this fucking country because you're a dope and you don't know anything else. And when you go on holiday, you go to a resort in Spain and fill yourself with drinks because you know nothing and you can't mix with the normal people of those countries. So you have to stay in hotel resorts and then make up rumors. Oh, we can't go outside because it's dangerous for Irish people. Shut the fuck up, you racist little piece of shit. I hope migrants take your fucking houses, your wives, and your fucking cars, you little pieces of shit, displacing people like you own the fucking world. This is not your fucking world. None of you own this world. Ireland does not own the planet. Ireland is one little country on the planet. Know your fucking place and humble yourself, you little bitches.
Well, guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below about that video. If that video made you feel any sort of emotion, whatever emotion it may be, hit like and make sure you share that video, because the more people that see this video and see the types of things that this guy is saying, the more people are going to be woken up here in this country as to what's going on. And what has gone on is this: these people, including this guy, have been invited into this country by our government, by our politicians, people that have been allegedly elected to the positions that they are in. Do you want a guy like this in this country? Have you invited this guy into your country? Absolutely not. I know I haven't. So I find it to be quite interesting to see that these people have been invited in and this is how they behave. My response to it is this: if I was running this country, guys like this, and including this guy, would be deported tomorrow. And that would be it. Make it a stop, not a stay. On your bike, on your dinghy, and out you go. That's how I would do things. Because we shouldn't be listening, nor should we have to be dealing with people like this. That moves on to the next point of view that I'm going to say. And that is this: we have seen, because these people are on the left hand side and the people that like to play this race game are all on the left hand side, but we've just seen that Kamala Harris has been caught paying TikTokers. Now, why am I bringing in the Yanks? Well, I'm bringing in the Yanks because whatever's happening over there and how ostentatious it is, and it's actually happening here also, I believe. So what has happened? She's been caught playing TikTokers to make negative videos about Donald Trump. Weird that, isn't it? So if that's happening over there, it's absolutely happening over here. This is a government in this country, and just bringing it back to our own crew of miscreants. We have people here that will say and do outrageous things in front of your face. Are you actually thinking that they are not going to do ridiculous things behind closed doors? Because I think they will, and I think they are. If they're doing silly things out in the open in front of our very eyes, they're going to do silly things behind the closed doors. Moving on to my next point then with regards to this video. What I'm seeing is, I'm seeing a slowing down of the talk around hate speech laws, and it seems like they might try to defer them. Now, why is that? Well, this country is a smaller country than Britain, so when you point out a video like this, for example, well, how is this guy not subject to any of that sort of stuff? So I can point out the hypocrisy very easily. You've got Graham Carey, that's been told not to post things online and has been told not to attend protests, was arrested as far as I know, and was brought before a judge for the things that he was saying. Has Dre Cannon been arrested and brought before a judge for what he's saying? Because in my view, what he is saying here constitutes as terrorism as far as I'm concerned. Talking about foreigners running into people's houses, talking about foreigners stealing, advocating violence and theft. Are these not things that are rewarded with a charge or a section or a knock on the door from anybody within uniform? Why is that not happening? Very weird that, isn't it? Now I'm going to link that in also to where politicians, Minister Dara O'Brien was pictured with this fella, as you've seen here in the thumbnail of this video. So what I would ask is, because no media company is going to do it outside of Gript, but Gript Media, I'm setting you a challenge, I'm asking you something, I'm proposing an idea here. The next time you encounter Minister Dara O'Brien, have the picture ready of Dre Cannon along with Minister O'Brien and play this video for him. Because what I want to stop seeing are politicians being able to worm their way out of situations. I don't recollect that, I don't recall that, I didn't even meet the guy, I don't know who the guy is. It washes all of that away. Because here's the thing, the media and the government have set the standard. You have set the standard of, if people are linked, you're starting to call them all one thing. Even though they might have different views, even though they might have different opinions, you've lumped everybody into one pot. Not only that then, but if it's someone that you don't like, you then try to point the finger and go, oh, look who they're associating with. So let's do it to you. Look who the government of Ireland are associating with. They're associating with a foreigner here that's causing all sorts of bother online and is saying all sorts of ridiculous things online. Pretty curious as well how he's keeping his face pretty much covered here with this hoodie. Bit weird that, isn't it? Is it cold in Ireland? Is it not for your liking at all? Is that a strange thing to be doing, I think, now? Anyway, we'll move on. So, the last point I will come to when it pertains to this video is this. Have you ever seen the movie Blade 2? And you know the character in it called Nomek? So it's a vampire. So for anyone out there that hasn't seen those movies, I'll just do a little rundown of it now. You might even have a look after the fact. I'm a big fan of Blade. Well, the Nomek character is a vampire, but he's a vampire that actually transmits a disease to other vampires. And as a result, then the vampire world are very worried about this guy. Now, the vampire world are the ones who invited him in, and now they need to turn to Blade, and Blade is the savior for these people. So, my point about him is this. This fella comes across as a Jared Nomek to me. Now, why do I say that? Well, if this guy is spouting this sort of stuff online, and I know what you're saying, I know what you're thinking, ignore the clown, don't mind him, pay him no attention, pay no heed. No, my friends, you must show people, individuals like this, because why? This guy is gaining an influence among a certain community and wider communities. So it's not just blacks, it's not just Africans, it's not just Jamaicans. This guy is making these comments towards migrants. You see, he's very clever in that way with the way he uses the language in terms of migrants. We all know what these guys like, this fella, Israel Adesanya, Kamaru Usman, we know what these guys are all about. But this guy is clever enough to use the term migrants. So he is trying to feed them with the same sort of ideologies and talking points and ways of thinking that he has. Very militant, wouldn't you agree? So that is ultimately the point. This is a very serious situation here. This guy should absolutely be arrested by the Gardaí at the very least and deported, to my opinion, would be the best thing for everybody involved here. You get rid of this guy who is causing trouble. You get rid of someone that is going to potentially be a problem in the future with the way he's going on with his rhetoric. And also then you eradicate a problem from our country that could absolutely leak over into others. Now this guy can cry all he likes online about how he's been treated and how things are. But I don't see him moving to a black country anytime soon. None of these people seem to want to move to those countries when they're given the opportunity. And funnily enough, a lot of these people, when you do suggest to them to go to an African country, they all ask you to pay for it. I think that's very funny. When you're deciding to attack a host nation, that's a very bad idea. If I was sitting in the likes of, and I'm going to point out this guy's idiocy, if I was sitting in Jamaica, which, by the way, he's probably seen my videos, which is probably why he mentions the word compounds. In Jamaica, you are actually in a compound because you are not able to get out of the compound if you're white unless you are guarded, because the people that are there will just off you, and that is it. There's no questions about that. The same can be said in South Chicago. That's a heavily black population. If you're a white person walking around there, it's not going to end well for you. Same in parts of South Africa, and in the wider continent of Africa, there are places that you just cannot go because you are white. A lot of people don't understand that, but those are the facts. A guy like this is trying to gaslight you into thinking, oh, it's us that are the problem. No. Here's the thing. The guys like this country, rolled on not a bother without him. He is no astronaut, he is no engineer, he is no doctor. We don't need bums like this in our country, especially bums that are trying to issue threats towards our own people and indeed encourage other people to threaten and get involved with very negative consequences for our own people. So I pose the question, why haven't these people, like and including this guy, been removed from this country as soon as possible? Because that is exactly what should be happening within this country right now. Is that an opinion that you also share? Let me know down in the comments down below. Before I finish the video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and thank you very much to listening to these videos. It's much appreciated. Let's keep spreading the word about these people. Good luck.